Hey guys, welcome to DeadPole Fishing again with Lewis. Today we're going to talk a little bit about cleaning your gear, cleaning out your reels, you know, a little bit of maintenance, pulling out that old line that's been sitting on there and starting to fray. We're going to talk a little bit about more of the gear, my packs, the type of stuff I carry, talk about my bucket, the buckets I actually build and make myself. Because I like certain things a certain way. Again, so if you look right here, this right here is my pack. This is the one I take with me everywhere I go. It's got my lures in it. It's got a couple of these like little spare rods in case I happen to catch a small fish. I wanna, throw it on a hook, on a bobber, and let it swim out there for a little bit. I have a 2-pole license, so pay for your 2-pole license. Don't be doing things illegally. This is where I keep all my tools, my glasses, my gloves, like all my my measuring tape, my wear, everything inside this one. I like to keep some my extra hats. But yeah, it's right here. I carry my little machete because sometimes when I'm traveling through the lakes or I'm traveling through creeks, you just gotta cut things down, or if you want to build like a little fire, it starts to get a little bit cold when the sun's starting to go down. I got my little mallet here in case I can catch a big fish. I want to use as bait. I just pop right on the head, and then you got yourself some bait. You cut it up, you carry it with you. So it goes on like this. See right here. There we go. Like that. So you can see, and let's see. Let's get you a little further out, so you guys can see exactly what I'm working with. Alright. So as you can see right here, that's pretty much my gear, my packs, what I take with me. Cutting the lawn over there. If you can't hear me, sorry about that. Just basically, this is what I carry. It's nice light. I have 2 full-size lure tackles inside of here, and I don't know if you can get that. There you go, that little profile. So I carry this with me. This is like my gear, drinks. Put a little bit of whatever I want in there. This is my traveling packs, like if I'm not going to be bottom fishing or bait fishing, if I'm looking for a new spot, or if you're fishing at a place like a lake out here called Quincy, where no bait is allowed, only artificial lures, no artificial bait allowed. It's a reservoir, so they try to keep as many of their fish from getting caught inside there. So that's their main thing is, no baits, no live bait, no does. You just got to use skill. And you got to find out, and you can bring your fish finders, whatever. There's a lot of people kayaking in there too. So, we got Remus. The Remus cat. This guy likes all the fish. This is my fish can. 2 of them. This is Remus. Remus is our white cat. We have Sirius. He's inside. He's about 14.5 pounds, and Sirius is about 15. So there's that. When I keep my rods right here, I keep my rods, my net right here inside this old duffel bag that I converted into a little rod case. As you can see, all 4 of my rods are right here. I have this right here. I have a piece of Velcro just to hold all that together. And then you got this big old net that I had to get. I broke my last net on my nephew's carp. We were trying to bring it in and got it right underneath it, and all you see is just the bend. It's a good net. It was a really good net. It wasn't built for bringing in those bony fish. So this is how it goes. I have this little strap I put on here. It used to be on my old camera set. And so basically, that is my hiking set, my carry set. Walk around with that all day, every day, all night. Actually, very comfortable. Okay, so I had to take off my jacket. Started getting a little bit hot. Oh. I don't know what's going on over there. Okay, so anyway, I had to take off my jacket a little bit. It was starting to get hot. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about my bucket, what I carry with me when I decide to do that. I am going to be out, like carrying my full max gear, say like a shelter, or I'm bringing in my, my bottom fishing gear, or I'm bringing my dog or something like that. This is my bucket, my setup I like to take with me. It's actually 3 buckets. I went and bought 3 different buckets. One of them was, one of these huge, just chemical buckets. Somebody would throw it out, took it home, cleaned it up. It's not meant to put fish in, but I'll show you how the getup is. So, let's take a look. So this is the bucket, this right here, these 3 buckets, and then right here you have the front side. So you can keep your poles in here. I like to keep all 3, you can keep all 3 poles in here. It's just a holder. This right here is my little stringer for if I catch fish. Instead of having to post it down into the dirt or whatever in between rocks, I can actually just post it here if my bucket's close enough, and then string line them out. These come out, they detach. You gotta spin them out a little bit. Yeah, see, they come out. So if you want to keep your bucket closer to camp or whatever, or closer to wherever you want, and you want your rods out there, those come out. It's on this little $20 little setup right here. Eventually I'm gonna have to switch these wheels out. I'm gonna have to cut this off and put some actual bike wheels on this thing. But if you look right here, this right here is my my little umbrella. It's for shade. I can actually put a shelter strap right on top of that, and it makes it into an actual bigger shelter and turns it into a little tent. I lay down underneath there, or I can actually move this closer to wherever I want. Because right here you can see I made a little post, and it actually goes into the dirt. It can go into the ground. This is an old fishing rod I use, one of my old rods. There's this little umbrella right here. Comes undone, pop it up. It actually goes up higher. And I have a little collapsible chair that sits right there. So all I do is sit right underneath there. I got my beer holder. There's a little cozy that goes right on there. So here's my beer holder. This holds my mallet for bigger fish or coyotes, because right now we have a bunch of them. Right here I keep just my little extra tools, get that hooks out. I got this for my doughs, my little dough balls, so I get the perfect amount every time. I'm not overdoughing things, and then it adds a little extra, I feel like air bubble in there, makes them float up a little bit better. So yeah, we'll put that back on. Keep the beer cozy. Yeah. So that just right there. I'm gonna put that down there. Close this back up. We got Remus crying over there in the corner. Huh, Remus? Are we crying, sir? Yeah. Tell them about the bucket. Or you want to go back inside? So this is the actual bucket. Right in here is my little homemade stove. I have a stove in there. I'll show you guys that later. But right here is your hooks, my bait, my stinks, my weights, everything right there. So you keep different types of hooks on there, different styles, different lengths. Put that back in there. So this bucket is actually, the black bucket is for fish. You catch something, you don't want it in your car, you got a little stinky. So we were at the beach. I gotta clean that out. But this comes out, and that is where you look. That's where you just put your fish, whatever like you catch, just, you know, sea life in there, water life in there. This goes right down here. Let's close that up. There we go. Let's go right down there. And then of course you got this little stove, and I'll have to show this to you guys. It's actually pretty cool. Put that down there. And see right about there where that line is about as much, like, I guess, storage you can get out of this properly without this bucket you know, being wonky on top. So there you go. You do that. You get, say, your fish in here. I can put my whatever extra gear I have in there. Just put that in there, and you put this right on top. Keep the flies, bees, whatever you want out of there, and that top goes back on there. And then boom, there you go. See, it's got a little bit of height on it now, but it's still very sturdy, nothing moves. Right there. So you can see underneath there, that is actually my little ice fishing thing. That's if I decide to take this with me, that goes right on there. Or to go, my other ice fishing bucket right here. We'll talk about that a little bit later. That one's actually pretty cool, because it's a chair and an ice bucket in one. And I built this back in 2016. This one I built back in 2018. Yeah, about 2018. So that's pretty much the gear that I'm using. I'm packing with me. I'm taking with me everywhere. You're gonna see me doing more fishing videos and stuff like that. This right now, it's just me because of the quarantine. I haven't been able to get out as much, and you know how that goes. So as soon as we're done with that, you'll be able to see a lot more fishing videos. I think I'm gonna talk about next is my fishing rods, my homemade ice fishing rods that I've made. And I have an ice runner that I bought from Shakespeare, but these homemade ones I've made out of my older rods, the cheaper ones I've had throughout the years from when I was a kid, you know, younger as a kid, or ones I find even at the beach. You know, I find some ugly stick tips, you know, stuff you can just reuse or repurpose. Yeah, so that's gonna be our next episode. Our next episode is gonna be the ice fishing gear and stuff like that. And then next we'll do some bow fishing. We'll talk more about survival gear, reusing stuff to make a survival rod and stuff like that. I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of stuff that I've actually already made and already done. So stay tuned for more episodes. Thank you for tuning in with DeadPole Fishing with Lewis. Let's go catch some fish.